Hi everyone and welcome to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. And if you're returning, I really appreciate your support for watching more of my videos, so thank you very much. In this week's video, I'm going to be chatting through all of the bookish bits that I bought this weekend. None of it really planned, but you know how it goes, books and other items are bought. So let's see what helped me spend my salary. Okay, so I'm just going to start straight off with confession time. For those of you who've watched my videos in recent weeks, you'll know that I am not afraid of confessing to you my my bookish antics and decisions. And this week is no different. On Thursday night, I found myself stumbling across, let's say, an online retail website and seeing that they had deals on books. And I just happened to browse through the web pages and found some books that I've been itching to kind of get copies of for a little while. But to be honest, I've been struggling to find them at decent prices in bookshops. They've not been in charity shops, and I just didn't really want to pay full price unless I really had to. So yeah, let's take a look. I bought 3 in total. First 2 are the remaining 2 titles in the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorn and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. This is the book that goes before this one. This is the penultimate, and this is the final book in the series. That's really bad English. But I've got the first 3. I'm currently reading the second story, which is A Court of Mist and Fury. But these 2, yeah, I've been eyeing up for a long time, and they were slightly discounted. They are $8.99 and $9.99 RRP, but I got one for $6.99 and one for $7. So that in my mind justified me buying them because they weren't full price, and i.e. that equates to a bargain. Let me know if any of you are very similar with that mindset. It doesn't take much to sway our brains, does it, to buy books? But there you go. These books, I've really been keeping an eye out in charity shops for copies, and I really haven't seen them. It'd be interesting to know if you've seen them appear in charity shops. There are often cycles of books, publications that you do see quite quickly in hardback or paperback in charity shops, but these obviously are keepers, especially if people are sort of buying the various kind of dust jacket series for these. So I wanted to get the matching set, so I've got all 5 now, so I know that once I sort of read them one by one that they'll all be matching and looking really nice and colourful on my bookshelf. So there's those 2. And then the third one that I picked up in the sale, I think it was about 35% off, was Lex Crouch's Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. And really sort of what I wanted to say about this one is many of you probably can sense or know by now, if you've been watching my videos, that I am a fan of historical fiction as well as non-fiction. But I always think it's quite a skill to blend sort of fictionalization of real life characters and figures, and what went down obviously in the history books. But I just was curious to see Lex's take based around the setting of Camelot. So Gwen and Art are not in love. Rather inconveniently, however, they are betrothed, and now Art's been invited to Camelot to prepare for the wedding. It's going to be a long hot summer of jousts, feasts, and try not to kill each other. So yeah, I was just intrigued to see kind of how light and enjoyable this would be beyond the traditional historical fiction that I love and really admire, like Alison Weir with Henry VIII's 6 Wives series that I'm currently working my way through. But there was that one that was £8.99 originally by Bloomsbury, but I think I got it for £6-ish. So there you go, there's that one, if my maths does me right. Okay, so Saturday saw me fall into TK Maxx / HomeSense. For UK viewers, you'll be well aware of kind of TK Maxx and HomeSense. They are great kind of home decor stores full of clothing, full of accessories, full of artwork and all sorts of bits that you might imagine. I think around the world, TK Maxx is known as TJ Maxx and other names. If you are watching from a country where TK Maxx isn't TK Maxx, if you know what I mean, please let me know in the comments below. I think it's TJ Maxx in Australia, for example. So yeah, I'd be really curious to know kind of if you're familiar with that chain and what it's called where you live. So I went in there with kind of no preconceived ideas of really what I was buying. I was just kind of looking for things that might grab my eye in terms of gifts for other people, or titles and books that I hadn't already got that were on my TBR as well as picking up some birthday cards and stationery for friends and family to be sent to friends and family. So first up, I spotted Riley Sager's Survive the Night. I have got this copy on Kindle. I think I got it for 99p. But I just literally grabbed this off the shelf. It was quite embarrassing, but we've all been there, haven't we? This was originally $8.99. I got it for $3.29. So that was an absolute steal. This has a really interesting premise. And it says, Charlie Jordan is being driven across the country by a serial killer. Maybe. Behind the wheel is Josh Baxter, a stranger Charlie met via the uni rideshare scheme. On the road they share their stories, carefully avoiding the subject dominating the news. The campus killer, responsible for 3 student murders, has just struck again. The miles tick by and Charlie begins to notice discrepancies in Josh's story, and why won't he let her see inside the trunk? As she begins to plan her escape from the man she is becoming certain is the killer, she starts to suspect that he knows exactly what she's thinking, meaning that she could very well end up as his next victim. So that sounds great. Always love to have a paperback, even if I do end up reading it on my Kindle, and better than half price. So brilliant, really happy with that one. Next up, coincidentally, is another Riley Sager, the only one left. This jumped out on the shelves in front of my eyes. This is hailed as a heart-pounding gothic thriller from the master of suspense. Everyone believes that Lenora Hope is a mass murderer. When the Hope family was massacred decades ago, she was the only one left alive after that tragic night. Mute, paralysed and confined to a wheelchair, Lenora has never been able to tell her side of the story until her new live-in caregiver, Kit, brings her a typewriter, and with one working finger, Lenora begins to type, "I want to tell you everything." Wow, that sounds gripping. Again, well, this RRP is $9.99. It was down to $3.29 as well. So really, really chuffed to find those 2 Riley Sagers. They're obviously really popular with a lot of you out there. So let me know if you've read either of these, if you've got a favourite out of the 2, what your thoughts were. Really like to know your thoughts, but without any spoilers, please. So there's those 2. Brilliant. And then in the hope that my mum isn't going to watch this video, I got her a couple of gifts, perhaps for Christmas time. One is a nice notebook, pink, because why not? That was $3.99 instead of $10.99. And then this one is bookish themed. It's a Jungle Book puzzle. How cute is that? Look, it's just gorgeous. So I thought that's a really nice gift. So that was originally £10. It was $4.99. Really cute. So there we go. That's a really nice puzzle. And then, don't have a go at me. I know it's only July, nearly August, but the shop was full of Halloween items near the tills. So it had the beautiful sort of Halloween sort of decorative globes, candles, spices, all sorts of things like that. Teacups. But I did pick up this little tote bag because I thought it would be lovely to put my my Halloweeny autumnal books in to read from. So again, there'll be my like children's titles and adult fiction titles. But yeah, I just thought it was really cute, and I don't have anything like this. So that was £4.99. So you'll be seeing more of that, but not until October, because it's too soon. Okay, it's too soon. So there you go. Really happy with all of those buys on Saturday. But keep watching, because there's more. And that takes us to Sunday. So Sunday morning, I was determined to head to Winchester, which if any of you are familiar with England and the South Coast, in the county of Hampshire where I live, Winchester is a beautiful, beautiful historic city, which is really, really popular with tourists. It's really, really sort of highly regarded in terms of its culture and its heritage, and lots of things to see and do. It's also got the university there and a big major hospital, so it really, really does draw the crowds. But I was kind of keen to kind of get into town earlier than many might be doing so on sort of a warm, sunny summer's day. And I always keen to visit one of my all-time favourite secondhand bookshops, and that's the Oxfam bookshop there on Parchment Street. I'll hopefully add a link in the description below for you to find out if you want to discover more about that shop with its opening times, if you're planning to be in Winchester anytime soon. I just browsed the fiction downstairs, and then I headed upstairs to non-fiction, which where a copy of an upcoming book club pick just jumped out at me. That is A Fortunate Woman, A Country Doctor's Story by Penny Morland. I think I've set this as the September book club pick. It felt like it was a bit of a September read in my mind. I might be completely wrong. It might be set through the entire year. And one lovely thing about picking up great secondhand books in great condition as this one is that sometimes they've got their own tale to tell, because inside they've got a dedication to someone. I've done my best to try to decipher, to read the writing. I think it says Emmett. I bought this completely on spec as thought it might be of interest, lots of love, and that looks like it says Jules, Winchester, 2nd of the 9th, 2022. So that's really sweet that someone's dedicated the book to someone that they're gifting it to. This is a hardback. Actually, I already own a paperback version of this. I'll try and find it wherever. It's probably not going to jump out at me at all. It might be on my book cart already. Yes, it is. There we go. I got a secondhand copy of paperback from Chapters Bookstore in Dublin when I went. That was £4.99. So now I've picked up this one. This was, I think it was £1.99, which is really good. I haven't seen it in hardback, so I'm going to give it to someone else in book club. I'm not quite sure decided if I'm going to keep the paperback or the hardback, but one way or the other, someone will be able to get another copy, because sometimes it can be quite hard to get to find titles, even through sort of library reservations and just timing of things. So there you go. The book is really a memoir. It says Penny Morland was clearing her late mother's house when she found a battered paperback fallen behind the family bookshelf. Opening it, she was astonished to see an old photograph of the remote wooded valley in which she lives. The book was A Fortunate Man, John Berger's classic account of a country doctor working in the same valley more than half a century earlier. This chance discovery led Morland to the remarkable doctor who serves that valley community today, a woman whose own medical vocation was inspired by reading the very same book as a teenager. Oh, wow. So that is a really, really strong connection of caring for your community through different generations, different decades, probably different centuries, given that we're in 2024 now. So really keen to see what that one's like. I can see from the sticker on the paperback, it was shortlisted for the 2022 Baillie Gifford Prize for Non-Fiction. So that always catches my eye. I'm always quite trusting of shortlisted, the acclaim that books do get for shortlisted or sort of winning titles, although it is completely personal and subjective. But there you go, there's that one, £1.99. Really chuffed with that buy as well. The other book, I don't think I initially saw downstairs in the fiction, but it kind of, I spotted it when I went back down before I left, just because I've seen it absolutely take over social media, and I'm already a fan of this author, and I've seen her sort of talk at Capital Crime and at Tasting Notes Live. It is Just Another Missing Person by Gillian McAllister. Gillian is a really, really clever, original author. She really, really is probably unrivaled with twists and turns, and just pulling off the miraculous with plots that you just think, how on earth did she do that without me realising? So this book is about Olivia. It says 22 years old, no history of running away, last seen on CCTV entering a dead-end alley and not coming back out again, missing for 1 day and counting. And that is an ultimate Houdini scenario, isn't it? Straight away. It's like, how is that possible? What has happened? What is going to happen? And it says, Julia is the detective heading up the case. She knows what to expect, a desperate family, a ticking clock, and long hours away from her daughter. But Julia has no idea how close to home it's going to get, because her family's safety depends on one thing. Julia must not find out what happened to Olivia. An unputdownable, twisty thriller from the author of Sunday Times bestseller, Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Crikey, that is worthy of a jaw drop, isn't it? So I picked this one up for $2.99, and it doesn't feel like it's been out that long. I might be wrong, but I think it's just coming out in paperback. When was this printed? Oh, okay, so it came out 2023. I think because the hype is just rolling and rolling and rolling, it feels like it's not long out, but thought that was great. Wasn't intending to buy this at all, but couldn't really resist for $2.99. And then last but not least, I will insert the plant pot that I bought from TK Maxx yesterday as well, with some footage, so watch out for that. But today I went to buy my mum a little gift for cooking lunch, and I found this really, really lovely, don't know if you can see that, travel notebook, and I thought this would be perfect for when I go to Boston later this year in November. There will be several videos and content about that trip, so stay tuned. But this is really, really cute. I thought it was $11.50 and it's down to $3.99. But if you can see, it's got Sydney, it's got England, it's got Amsterdam, it's got New York, it's got San Francisco and Barcelona. Shame it hasn't got Boston. But I thought this would be lovely to take with me and just jot down memories and notes through the time that I'm there. I'm there for 4 nights, 5 days. So if any of you are from America or are familiar with Boston, please let me know the best bookish places to go, whether that's bookshops, new or secondhand bookshops, sort of literary landmarks, aside from, I obviously know about Boston Public Library, but anything you can recommend for eating and drinking. I'm there over Thanksgiving, so if any of you kind of know how American cities during Thanksgiving, I know a lot of families and people move out of the city for Thanksgiving holiday and then come back, but let me know if there's any kind of quirks or any sort of tips of need to know what to do during that time. I'd be really, really grateful. I think if you have watched this far, firstly, thank you very much for your time. Secondly, I hope you've enjoyed me sharing all of my kind of bookish buys. That's just some of them there this weekend. And if you have watched this far, I think in honour of the Jungle Book by Rudyard Kipling, please leave me a snake emoji. I think that's really cute. I'm not a fan of snakes, I have to say. But for now, they're an emoji. They're not going to hurt me or try to kill me or poison me. So let's go for a snake. But yeah, basically, hope you have a lovely week ahead of you. Hope you get some time to kind of relax and read. I'm going to go back hopefully later on today and read some of my A Court of Mist and Fury. That's my current read. It was on my July TBR, and I don't think I'm going to finish that because I'm only about 130 pages in with about another 500 to go. But I'm not going to pressure myself because it's not about all the numbers, it's about the enjoyment. So I'm not going to put pressure on myself. But yeah, hope you're all okay. Hope you have a great week ahead, and I shall see you again very soon, hopefully next week for another video. Bye for now.